Opopco Studios in Oklahoma City. This is a signing day 2015 update. I'm Jenny Carlson. Kyle Fredrickson joins us on the phone to talk about Oklahoma State and their signees today. Kyle, as we talk, it's a little bit before 9 o'clock, but almost all of Oklahoma State's signing class is in, including a name that wasn't previously committed to the Cowboys, that being Marcus Keys, an offensive lineman from Port Allen, Louisiana. What do we know about him and his flip, and how important it is to the Cowboys?
Well, it's pretty important. I mean, this is a guy who probably isn't projected to play right away. He's a two-star rated prospect by Rivals, but just looking at his size and what he brings to the table athletically, I mean, the Cowboys have got to like to see what's in his future possibly. He's a 6'5", 280-pound guy. Watching some of his highlight film, he's a guy who can kind of get out in space on some screen plays, and be athletic enough to block some of those cornerbacks and safeties. So the Cowboys like that a lot. And, this was a guy who was on OSU's radar just over, I think, the past week, with the decommitment of Josh Jones from Bush, Texas, another offensive tackle. The Cowboys were scrambling a little bit to sign some other players. And Keys was a guy who, had told some media in Louisiana that he was actually going to hold off on signing until he took his official visit to OSU. But it looks like now he's just going to go ahead and sign before he comes out here, with an opportunity to play at a Big 12 school.
A 6'5" guy, 280 is what he's listed at, so definitely has some size, but I'm sure Rob Glass will get his hands on him and even add a little bit more. Kyle, let's talk about a position that has been most talked about in this signing period, and that being running back. Chris Carson, a late flip earlier this week as he changed his commitment from Georgia to OSU. He is signed and he is coming to Stillwater. What kind of impact could he have on the Cowboys in this coming season?
Well, I mean, I think the coaches are hopeful that it'll be a very serious one right away. He's a guy, 6'1", 210 pounds, brings a kind of more of a power back to the Cowboys running back corps, alongside a few smaller, shiftier guys in Rennie Childs and Sione Pelele. So, there was definitely a little bit of mystery as far as where Chris Carson from Butler Community College was going to land. Just 24 hours before he had told, Robert Allen at GoPokes.com that he was committed to OSU, he had told local Atlanta media that he was fully committed to Georgia. So, leading all the way up until this morning, I think people were a little concerned about where this guy would fall. But he sent in his letter, and he's good to go with the Cowboys. And certainly, if he can kind of, get over the learning curve that some of these JUCO guys have right away, would be a huge addition for the Cowboys in a very thinned-out running back group.
Well, it looks like to me, Kyle, as we talk right now before 9 o'clock, the Cowboys on their commitment list only missing two offensive linemen yet to sign, but one of them in California, so maybe the early hour keeps him from signing just yet. Another guy out in Pennsylvania who has not sent a letter just yet. But he's also in LA at junior college, so maybe, again, just the hour of the day. Those guys not yet sending letters in. But Mike Gundy will have a press conference here in just a little bit to talk about the signing class. Any ties left out there that we might be looking to see if anybody joins the Cowboys late, a la Marcus Keys or the other day Chris Carson?
I don't think there's a whole lot of late drama left here. Like you said, the majority of the class is in. The one guy that OSU fans should keep their eye on, and honestly, by the time this video gets online, it might already be past that point, but Chris Warren, he's a 4-star running back from Rockwall High School, who had OSU in his top 4, is making his choice. A lot of the experts are saying that now it's down between Washington and Texas, so OSU might be out of the running, but they were certainly up there near the top. But even if the Cowboys are unable to sign Warren, with the addition of Chris Carson, I don't think there should be too much concern there. But he'll be making his decision soon. But like you had mentioned, pretty much everyone is in, and not too many surprises at this point, other than Keys. But the Cowboys certainly have to be happy with the crop of guys they have coming in, especially considering they returned so much depth actually this season.
All right, be sure to follow Kyle on Twitter, and later today he'll be joining our live signing day chat at newsok.com/live, and you can ask him all sorts of Cowboy-related questions. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.